Much for this. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to a very fantastic session. Tonight is going to be mind-blowing. Tonight is going to be fantastic. Trust me, because that's what we have. We have you covered tonight. Now, my name is Prince Adiakoni. I'll do a proper introduction later on, but I want to know where everybody they're joining me from. I have about 18, 19 people on the chat tonight, and I want to know where you're joining from. I have Joseph, Jadine, Henry, Elochukwu, Dunamis, Chinaye, Alfred. Where are you joining me from? What part of the world are you joining from? My name is Prince Adiakoni, and like we can just say my name is Prince Adiakoni and I'm joining from UK, or my name is Prince Adiakoni. I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm joining from Germany. Where exactly are you joining from? I want you to drop that in the chat box so I know exactly where my people are joining from tonight. Henry is joining from Toronto in Canada. That's fantastic. Good to have you here, Henry. It's going to be good afternoon for you. Right, so I've only seen Henry's chat in the chat box. All right, Darlington is joining from Morocco. That is interesting. Fantastic. Good to have you here, Darlington. Good to have you. So what part of the world are every other person joining from? I've seen Henry, I've seen Darlington, I've seen Samuel from Lagos. Fantastic. Good evening to you, Samuel. Good to have you here. For tonight, Osai is from UK. Osai, your name looks very familiar. I'm not so certain if I've spoken to you before, but your name looks very familiar. So welcome to tonight's session. Tonight is going to be super loaded. Tonight is a beginner's class. It's a crash course. We do something that a beginner can easily get. Fantastic. Yeah, good Osai. So I also have Marian. Marian as Jadine, joining from UK. Good to have you here, Jadine. All right. So tonight is going to be fantastic. We are totally talking or doing something that a newbie can get into and literally perform magic with it. Good to have you here, Dynamis. You're from Nigeria. Fantastic. Good to have you, Dynamis. Tonight we are looking at a crash course, and we are literally working with we're working as a data engineer. So anybody or everybody looking to be a data engineer, here is a clue or what is going to be like or what is going to feel like to be in that spot as a data engineer. So if you have a friend or you have your family member or you have like your go-to person that has been looking to transition into tech, they don't know which of them is to get into, they don't know, they've talking about data engineering, or you have a particular friend that is an engineer, mechanical engineer, software engineer, civil engineer, whoever type of engineer is, and they've been talking about transitioning or getting into a better job, you want to share this link to this particular session with them so that they'll be able to join and actually see firsthand what it is like to work as a data engineer. Because tonight, I'll have my colleague here. He's a fantastic professional. He's a senior data engineer. He will be showing us some magic. I call it magic because you can't just put in some few lines of code and I'm seeing realistic results. This is what you'll be getting tonight from this particular session. His name is Sadiq. He's going to do a proper introduction much more later on. But tonight we're looking at extracting information, scraping information from Netflix to be able to understand what exactly is going on. Why are people watching this particular movie or this particular show, or from where are they watching it, so that you can know how to position things much more better. And a lot of organizations do need these services to be able to know which of our products our customers are enjoying, which of our products as customers buying, where are they buying it from. As a data engineer, you are the one that will gather all this information and make it readily available for them to understand. So tonight, we are using Netflix as the scapegoat. Okay, Netflix is the scapegoat tonight. So we're going to scrap the information from Netflix and be able to understand exactly how you can do the same thing as a data engineer. So stick to me tonight, and we'll be showing you a lot about this. All right. I don't know. Are we excited? Are we excited about this tonight? If you're excited, say the yes so I can get on with it. If I don't get the yes, I won't move ahead. I will not show you. Stella, welcome. Good to have you, Stella. Ah, fantastic. I have a yes from Henry. I know Henry is going to say yes. So Henry is my guy. Okay, so I have 1 yes from Jaden, Osai, Samuel. Fantastic. So tonight, this is what we're going to be looking at. And when you're looking at what we're talking about tonight, I think I've talked about a bit of them. Aside from the fact that we're looking at you scraping information from the database as a data engineer, we will also be talking about how you will be able to transition and become a data engineer. What are the things you need to learn? What is the path for you to become a data engineer? Then I also walk you through the internship. How do you get hands-on skills to become a data engineer? Hands-on skills valid enough to get you a job from having zero technical knowledge or zero technical skill to landing a job as a data engineer. We're going to talk about this. Then also for those that will stick to the end of the program, this particular session, I will be giving in a very fantastic discount and telling you more about how you can take advantage of the discount before it ends. Right? So stick with me. And for people that might be joining this session for the very first time, you don't know who or what Analytics is. Analytics is an educational technology company that will specialize in helping individuals across board, across sector, transition into the tech space. And how we do about this is providing a learning platform for individuals that have either technical background or no technical background, provide a Black enriched community to help individuals like this, lower the barrier and help them transition into tech. And when you're looking to transition into tech, we have a couple of programs you can get into. Aside from data engineering, you have the data analytics, you have the business analysis, you have the data science, the financial analysis, the HR analyst, you have the financial analyst, the scrum master, cybersecurity, and AI engineering. These are the programs that we do offer at Analytics, and we have a team of world leaders in your as a facilitators that come into your classes and they give you hands-on experience into any of these programs. We have people, some of our instructors, you have them working with Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Amazon, Tesla, KPMG. We have people working in this industry coming into your classes and give you first-hand information, giving you how to build your skill in this space. One of them is, I'm not going to say where it works. One of them is Sadiq, the professional that will be walking you through this particular um, project, short course that we're doing tonight. And looking at myself, my name is Prince Ade Akoni, and I've been a data analyst, business intelligence analyst for as long as I can remember. I've been in this space for a long time, and in that path, I've been helping individuals and organizations align their plan and their strategy to achieve growth, definitely in the business. I'll be able to help over 1,000 actually. I'll be able to help over 1,000 individuals that have no technical background to land in their first role in the tech space. That's been who I have been. I have a couple of experience that worked in the health tech space, work in finance, I work in logistics, I work in the FMCG, and I also work in the healthcare space. All right. And you can, by the time you're done with the session, you have ability to get this slide so you can click on this particular spot to connect with me on LinkedIn. And while I speak, you must have noticed in the chat box that my colleague are dropping a particular attendance form in that particular comment box. So what you want to do for those joining for the first time, you want to make sure you click on that and complete the form. The purpose is this session is recorded, right? And remember, like I said, the session is going to be mind-blowing. We'll have a lot of things you'll be doing, a lot of technical things that we'll be doing, a lot of Python scripting we'll be doing tonight. You will definitely want to watch this again. So make sure you complete the form. Once you do that, we'll be able to have the video, recorded video sent to your email, couple along with this particular slide I'm using. So you can go ahead, watch the video at your own time, and also practicalize everything Sadiq will be doing tonight. And with me tonight, Sadiq is my fantastic colleague. I know, Sadiq, are you able to unmute your mic and speak?
Yes, I can.
Okay, all right.
Um, good, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Like Prince has said previously, my name is Sadiq, like he has said. My name is Sadiq Simileni. I am a data engineer with over 2 years of experience. Work at multiple places, right? So I have experience building robust data platforms, scalable ETL pipelines with Azure, GCP, AWS, and the likes. So this is just how would I put it? This is just the basics into what I'm capable of, right? So you can see from your screen, I have experience in SaaS, AI, and data engineering industry. So I am whoever I think I am. Yes, I would say that. Yeah, so that's just what I have for you guys. Yeah, Prince, you can go ahead. Yeah, you are muted.
Apologies about that. So I think I will hand this over to you so you show them how to perform magic. I don't know if that sounds good.
Okay, okay, no problem. So let me
Right.
pull up my screen. Okay, I need confirmation. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. So what we are going to be handling today is basically we are going to be creating a basic ETL pipeline. What does ETL stand for in the first place? It stands for extract, transform, and then load, right? So where we are going to be getting the data from, the changes we are going to be making to the data, and also where we are going to be storing this data. That's what we are trying to tackle in this session today. So now, the organization we are going to be working for in this case study is called the DataScript Insights. So DataScript Insights is a data analytics startup which specializes in collecting, processing, and analyzing the entertainment industry data. So when a company specializes in entertainment industry. So this means they have to keep up with the most popular movies and the likes. So you as a data engineer now, you are going to step in. So let's just go to the problem statements. So now you as a data engineer, you are going to step in and then help them get this data from for example, Netflix, or you can work with Prime or Disney Plus and the likes. But in our case study today, we are going to be getting information from Netflix. So, right, so in today's competitive streaming market, understanding audience preference is critical for both streaming platforms and content creators. However, reliable, structured, and easily accessible data is what audience are waiting. Sorry, on what audience are watching is often limited, right? So the organization is not able to get insights of which movie is trending currently and how many hours are people glued to this movie, and then we will be able to push out all recommendations better. Do you understand? So let's go to the rationale of the project. Now we have four rationales of this project, which is content demand forecasting, regional insights, competitive benchmarking, and monetization. So this is what the organization is planning to do with this data we are going to be getting. Do you understand? But there's going to be a restriction of within this case study, right? So within this case study, we are not going to be going all in onto the four rationales just because of the time frame. And this is more of like a beginner friendly session where each and every one of us will still be able to relate to what you can see. And now the aim of the project, which is to automate the extraction of daily and weekly Netflix top 10 data across regions. So when we say top 10, that's like the top 10 movies for that day or for the week. Do you understand? So we should be able to scrape it. And then each and every day, there will be an automation that is running to check if the data on Netflix has been updated. So if a new movie has found its way into the top 10, we are going to be getting that movie. So we are going to be structuring the data where this is where the load comes in, where we're going to be storing into a database, building dashboards and content performance. So now enable production companies. So companies will be able to come to us and ask us that, what is the trending movie? Which movie should we advertise currently that they know that would garner more views from the fans. So the data description, what we are going to be scraping from Netflix is the names of the movie, the views, that's the amount of views this movie gathered in the week, the runtime, that's the duration of the movie, and then the hours played. So this is the cumulative hours. That's like, oh, this movie has been watched, let's say, 1 million times. How many hours was used? Some people will just play a movie for like 20 to 30 minutes and then, but that 20 to 30 minutes would rank as watched for in the algorithm. Do you understand? So this would now this would make them know that, oh, but now the hours played would now give us more insight into if people are glued to this movie or not, or it is just having views and not having hours played. So now let's get straight into what we're about to do today. First step is let me quickly get that. First step is here. So we are going to go into Netflix. So yeah, this is where we are going to be scraping, right? So I just want you guys to have an intro to the kind of data we are going to be getting. So you can see this is what we are going to be getting today. So these are the top 10 movies in today's on for Netflix this week, right? So you can see The Wrong Paris, K-pop Demon Hunters. And now the first thing you do, so basically the session has started. This is the fun part of things. I'm not more showing you guys any slides, right? So let's just get into let me just show you a little bit more slide and then we are going to pick up. So this is what we are going to be using. We are going to be using Python and we're also going to be using Postgres. This is where we are going to be storing our data. We are going to initiate the extraction and the transmission of our data. And then the final part of things is just the whole architecture. We are getting data from Netflix, which is the extraction phase. We are going to transform this data and then load it into our database. So back to Netflix, right? You can see it over here. We have 10 new movies on this list. We can come here. Now, first thing you're going to do, if you want to scrape a website, you have to inspect the page. So you right-click on your system and then you come to inspect. If you're using a Mac, you just click on the screen. That's with your 2 fingers. You just click on it once and then it will bring up the inspector option for you. Now, we need to work with, well, we are working with targeted we are working with targeted fields, right? So this is one of them. So we are going to come here. This is the selector, element selector. You are going to click on it to get this field. I need this field, right? I want to know everything that is inside of this field. So I'm going to click on it, and this is where it starts from. So automatically, I already know where I'm targeting. So I'll just open this. Then this is the header. You can see edge. So if you have a little bit of experience with the likes of HTML or CSS, you are going to understand this HTML tag. So this is the table head, and then this is the table body, and this is where we are getting our information from. So you can see this is first one, second one, third one, and then the like. So now, what do we need from this? What do we need from this? This is it here. We need this tag and this class. This tag and this class. You can see this is the title, this is the views, this is the I'm coming, give me a moment. This is the table for the runtime, and this is the table for the hours played. Now let's get straight into writing Python code. Coming here, we're going to be creating our first file, which is going to be called the extract. So extract.py. What is extract.py going to consist of? Extract.py is going to consist of, first of all, we are going to have to import some initial libraries. These libraries are going to help us achieve what we are trying to do. So there are 4 libraries I'm going to be importing. I'm going to be explaining them as time goes on. So the first one is requests. So we need requests. We need OS. We need, I would say time. So we need beautiful soup. So I'm going to be giving you C on this soon. So now, then the last one is selenium. Just give me a moment. Chrome service, Chrome service. Good. And then the last bit, which is the WebDriver manager. Good. So this is everything we need today. Oh, sorry. There's a typo here. This is everything we are going to be using in this extraction phase of things, right? We need the request. This request is going to help us communicate with the website and ask. That's more of like a communication string whereby we'll be able to know if we are able to connect to the website because we are going to be using a bot, basically. So we are going to design, we are going to be building a bot that goes into your website and then gets data for us. So this is going to be helping us check if we have connection to that data, to the website. And then this is what we are going to be using to collect the data. And this one also is also important for us to get the structure of the website. So when I say structure, I'm talking of this, right? For me to have this whole body set up, I need to have the structure. So this is the structure of the website. This inspection page. This is the structure. So this is what Selenium, this guy, is going to get me. If Selenium gets me this information automatically, this beautiful tool would be able to now would be able to target what I need. So to kick off, I'm going to copy a function, but I'm going to explain what that function does in a bit. The function is I wouldn't say it's too long, but it is quite a bit. So for us to skip building up the function. So now, what does this function do, basically? This is the function that helps us initialize the Chrome. So this is for the bots that we want to use needs a Chrome to go on and then put the website and then build on it, right? So now this is what this function is going to do. This function is going to build up a Chrome driver for us, and then the Chrome driver on your PC, right, is what it is going to use. Automatically, it's going to sync with. So if you have Chrome, let's say Chrome 15, if it would not give you an error, and that's because this driver would install Chrome 15 for the bot, and then the bot will be able to communicate with the website. If you have Chrome 19, whatever version of Chrome you have goes, right? So that's what this does. So now let's get to the fun part and let's see how request works. So let's say let's get the URL first. URL is equals to, and then we go and copy from here. So I'm pasting the URL here. So this is the URL we are going to be using. And then we are now going to use requests. So R is equals to request.get URL. And now, what do I need from request? I need the status code. So I'm going to print r.status code. So now, if this code gives me 400, 404, 401, 405, right? That means we have been blocked access to this website. Do you understand? So our bot is not able to, and if we are being blocked access, our bot will not be able to get to this website, right? So that is just the whole thing about this. And now we now need to initialize our driver, which is this guy. Like I said, the Chrome builder. So we are going to come here and say driver will be equals to Chrome driver. So now we have been able to get the driver up and running. So this is the first step that would run. This guy would run. If this guy's I'm coming. Yes, this guy would run. If this guy has run successfully, then we are now going to be able to put the URL into our driver, and then automatically our driver knows that, oh, this URL goes, and that is why it is inheriting it. If this URL is 400, this is going to fail automatically. Reason is we cannot access this website. So once that is done, we now need to create our function. So because this is a pipeline, we cannot write all the code in a single page. It is good practice as a data engineer. You have to modularize your code. When you say modularize, that's more like breaking your code into reusable chunks. So if another person wants to extract from Netflix but does not want to follow your form of transformation, this person can just pick up your extract function and then build up his own transform function. And if this person does not want to load into where you are loading to, this person will just be able to build up his own load function or her own load function, basically. So let's create a function called extract data. So now, what is extract data going to consist of? First thing, we need a list. What is a list? A list is where we store values. A list is where we store values, basically. Strings, be it strings, integers, or floats. So we need 3 lists here. And no, is it 3? We should need, yeah, three for now. So movie names, um, movie names, which is going to be an empty list. Please note, I'm going to explain why we are using an empty list. Then the views, also an empty list. I'm coming. I want to switch off something quickly. So my assistive AI is disturbing me. Okay. So I think we have been able to get rid of that. Yes. So now we need runtime. So this runtime is runtime list. Yes. So this is also going to be an empty list. Basically, what this is used for is for us to store the information we are about to get from the website, right? Now, okay, let's move this guy into our function. So that means this guy would not run unless we call our function. So let's put it here. So we have our driver. Now, if you remember at the top here, we have time, right? So import time, there is a reason I imported time. When we say time in Python, this is all saying how will I put this? This is all saying we want to either use seconds or minutes, right? So now, why did I import time? For the bots to be responsive, and the website also should not know that a bot is on their website, right? That is why we are using time. So we are going to sleep the bot here. So we are going to call time dot sleep. So time dot sleep, we are going to give it, let's say it should just sleep for 4 seconds, right? Because I don't want it to take too long. So we are going to say it should sleep for just 4 seconds. These 4 seconds would help us, right? So that these 4 seconds would help us shift off the suspicion of there's a bot on the website currently. And then we'll now move forward to getting the data we need. So we are going to say content, contents, that's the web page content, right? That's the structure. Or okay, let me make it more structure. So the structure will be equals to driver dot page so now this is the source code. When we say source code, that's also meaning the structure, right? Source code is like the HTML tags and the like. So this will get us is the basic structure of the website, where we'll now be able to get every other thing we need. Now, this is where the main scraper comes in, which is beautiful soup. So we are going to say soup is equals to beautiful soup. Then beautiful soup takes in two parameters, right? Two important parameters, which is the structure. So we are going to say structure. Then it takes in a value whereby it is going to use to pass the structure that is coming. When we say pass, this is more like it arranging it and understanding what you sent. So we are going to be using what we call the HTML parser. So the HTML parser is what is in charge of structuring this whole source code. Yes, structuring this whole source code very well for Beautiful Soup, so that Beautiful Soup will be able to read it. Now, this is where everything is now interesting. This is where we are now going to get in the movie names, the views, and the like. So now let's go back to Chrome. If I want to get the movie name, I have to trace where the movie names are, right? And this is it over here. So you can see it here. It has highlighted it on the screen, so you can see the highlighted part. So now what do I need? I need this tag, which is TD, and I also need this class. So automatically I already know what I want. So I'm going to come back here and say movies is equals to soup dot find all. So I'm going to use the find all. So what this find all will do is it's going to get every it's going to get every tag and class that has this tag and this class. So automatically I'm going to get it for number one, the one on number two, the one on number three, up to the one on number 10, right? So let's come back here and just say we need the TG tag, right? And then we need the class. The class, oh, yes, is too much. Yes. So we need the class that is title. So this is completed. We already have the movies. Now, what do we need? Remember, we used a find all. So when we use a find all, that means that it is going to have multiple values. Now we need to separate these values and save it into our list that we created at the top. This is why I said we are going to come back to this list. So now, for us to save it in this list, we are going to be using something called a for loop. A for loop is where we'll be able to look through what we have and then look through what we have and then pick out each and every of the values one after the other and not combined. So let's say for movie in movies. So now we want to get the title of the movie. So title is equals to movie dot get. So, oh, sorry, dot get text. So when we say get text, because we use the find all, it is going to bring it in as tags, right? It is not just going to bring this title for us. It's not going to just bring it for us. It's going to bring it with this tag, like this whole line complete. It's going to bring it into. But this function over here, this get text function, is the one that now decipher and get out just the title and not any other tag or whatsoever. So now we're now going to say now this list we used here, we are now going to call it so that we'll be able to save each and every of the movie into this list. So we'll say movie names dot append. So when we say append, this is like add each and every of the names to this upper list. So we are going to append the title. Good. So automatically we are done for the title side of things. So we are now going to go over this step again for the views. So let me just copy so as not to waste too much time. We already understand the whole ideology behind it. So let's just come here and paste. So for this, we are going to call them views. Let's say views list. So this one is going to be views. Then this is going to also be view. This is going to be view. Yes, and then we are going to change this also to views and this one to view. Let's change this to view counts. Yeah, so this is the view count. So, and what do we need here? We need to change this, which is this guy, to view. Automatically, this is complete, and then we just change the title over here to view counts. Basically, we are also done with the Uh, we're also done with the view. And now moving forward, we are going to copy again for the last one and then paste. Now, what do we need here? We need for the runtime. You know, we created three. Oh, we need to change this list name to views list so as not to append the same thing to this list. Now the next part of things is getting our runtime. So let's change this to runtime. So this is runtime. Oh, we need to change this over here. So let's go and get the class for the views. So as not to be walking blindly, we are going to come here. Oh, this is the view, the same tag, which is TD, but different class. The class is called views. So we are going to come here and change it. So it is called views. So if we had used title, we'll just be getting the same information that we got here and then inserting it into the same list, which is going to cause data discrepancies. Now, the last bit of things, which is the runtime, we'll come back here again and then check what do we need. We need this TD and then this class, which is the desktop only. So let's copy that and then come here, paste it here. So we need the TD tag with the desktop only tag, with the desktop only class, the TD tag and the desktop only class. Then after that, we are going to view counts, view.get. So we are going to be changing all this over again. So this is going to turn to runtime. We'll say runtimes. So that will make this runtime. So then this will also be runtime. This would now be yeah, let's runtime, but we'll just give it a little bit of source, which is the underscore. And then we'll put it here to be runtime also. So basically, we have our we have all the data we need in our pocket. Now there's a single problem. What is the problem? If we come back here, we'll see that for the title, it has a distinctive class. The views also has a distinctive class. And then for the runtime and the hours played, they have the same class. In this case, we already know that there's issue somewhere, right? So if we run this our runtime, it is going to give us what we call it's going to give us multiple values. Yeah, it's going to return multiple values for us in our list over here. Okay, we are not done here. So let's say runtime list. Okay. So it's going to give us multiple values for our list, which is it's going to give us these two values. No, yes, this one and this one, this one and this one in a single list, which is not good for us. So let's for the sake of the highs, right? For you to just see the magic, let's see how that works. So we are going to copy this. No, we are not going to copy it. We are just going to shift this backwards. So we are going to test now. I want us to test it before we move forward. So as we are not building what is not working. So save this and then to run your Python script, we say Python, then we'll write the name of the file, which is extract.py. So in this case, we are meant to get 200 for this guy to know if our website is connecting. What just happened? Okay. So you can see we have an error. So this is what I'm talking about. Errors come in the whole coding. So where's my issue there? Selenium web driver Chrome web service. So it is telling me import name Chrome web service cannot import Chrome service. Why? From Selenium web driver Chrome service. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So it is the name of the stuff we need is called service, but I'm now aliasing it as Chrome service. Sorry about that. I made a mistake. So this is why we test. So if I didn't test and I went forward, we would have just seen a whole lot. Now you can see what I'm saying. Automatically, our driver, our bot will be able to connect to the website because we got a 200. 200 means connection successful, which is connection okay, right? So let's just see what we get. Oh, made a mistake also. We need a print. So let's print just the runtime list. That's what I want us to see, the values. I want us to see just the values of the runtime list. Let this one. So you can see it ran successful. That is why we didn't get an error. The reason why we are not seeing any results is because there's no print statements anywhere. So let's just run that again. And then this should give us the print statements and everything we need in general. So I just want us to see what I want us to solve before we move forward. So not that I'm just building and then you guys are not seeing the reason why we are doing some specific things. Let's just wait a bit. Now, if let me increase the fonts. Sorry about that. And let me send this away. Increase the font again. Send this away. Good. So one thing I want everyone to see is we are seeing this is the duration of the movie. This is the hours played of the movie. This does not make sense, right? We need to separate this guy from this guy and then save them into separate lists, right? So automatically we are getting this and this in a single list, and that is not meant to be so. So that's what we are going to try and solve now. So let's try and solve it. So in this case, we are going to come outside and then say, should we call it runtime again? Should we call it runtime? Yeah, let's call it duration. So duration will be equals to runtime lists. Now, what am I trying to do? I want to slice this list. So there's something called list slice. All these lingos you are hearing now, we will teach you all these things in analytics, whereby you will be very familiar with all the Python lingos that I'm using in this course. So you'll be hearing things like slicing. We will cover each and every of the nook and crannies of Python so as you to become a fantastic data engineer, data scientist, or data analyst, right? So, and we offer more courses also. So if you are not too interested in this, we have some things you might be interested in. Moving forward, I want to slice through this list so as to get just these minutes out of the list. What do I need? I need the square brackets. I need double columns, and then I need digit number 2. What would this guy do for me? This guy would extract all this, all the durations from the list. It's going to extract it for me, right? If I had used a single column, it's just going to start printing from here downwards, which is not what I want. I want it to get me this first one, this second one. It should forever skip all these ones. It must skip these millions. Do you understand? It must skip them. So that is why we are using double columns. So if I save that and let's do a print, print duration. Let's not waste too much time. So let's just go over. Let me do the last one, which is the hours played. Hours played, which is already run. Also, we are going to be getting, because this is the hours played, we are going to be getting it from the runtime list all over again. But in this case, we are going to be slicing in a different manner. We are going to be slicing 1, then double of the column again, then 2. When I say 2 in Python, when I say 1, when I say 2, this is Python does not start counting from 0, from 1. Python starts counting from 0. So automatically this is 0, 1, 2. And now I've told this guy to start his own iterations from every, that's pick every 2 which is automatically 0 is going to be there, and then it will be skipping all these guys. So it is more of like pick every even. So this is the 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8, this is going forward, right? So each and every one of us understand how even numbers work. So this is what this one is going to be doing, whereby this is going to be picking the odd numbers, which is the odd numbers in the configuration. Like I said, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So it's going to be picking the odd numbers in this variation. So now let me just print that for you so that you see what I'm talking about. So print the hour split. So hour split, let's save that. Let me quickly clear and then run it. So we'll just have a quick view of what we are trying to achieve. So while that is running, let's convert this back into a function. So we are just going to carry this up onto this point, give it a tab, and then we are going to uncomment this guy. So automatically it is back as a function. If I run this file, we are not going to get any output, and that's because we have not called on the function. So the reason why I did this was just for us to test if our functions are working fine. So in this case, we are going to be deleting these guys. We don't need them anymore. So now the last part of things is saving this file. That's what we have extracted to save as a CSV. So let's say I'm going to say save save as CSV, right? So what is a CSV? The comma separated file. A comma separated file is a file saving data type. So okay, let's revert back to what we did in the last bit. You can see now this is the initial list that we sliced from. All the durations has been converted into its own list, and all the hours played has been converted into its own list. So you can see we have been able to achieve separate lists for the duration and also the hours played just from a single find all. So this runtime has gathered everything we need, and now we are just slicing it to get the information we now eventually want compulsorily. So moving forward, let's save it as a CSV so we can run through this as fast as possible. We have less time to go. So what am I going to do here? So I'm going to use the width. So all these lingos is going to be you are going to be more familiar with all these things in analytics when we start teaching you. So as not to waste too much time, I'm not going to be typing this out. I'm just going to grab this function from somewhere so as not to waste too much time. We have expended a lot of time on this. So what is this basically? Okay, we need the movie names. Movie names, reduce list. So we need the duration and we need the hours played. Hours played. So that's what we need there. So now this is what would this with statement to do? This with statement is going to help us create a file that is called Netflix top 10.csv. Then it's going to input all the data in our list into this file. That is what this is going to do. So now this is going to be the end. And also what this driver.quit means is more of like tell the bot to stop working. That's leave the website and then we are done for the day. Right? So now after this, we have 2 more files to create, which we'll just run through, which I'll just give you a glance of what these files would look like. So in this case, all these things are going to be taught to you in-depthly if you join us here at Analytics. So you are in safe hands if you eventually sign up to us and then come to data engineering. I would so this is the next file we're going to be creating. This is the transform dot ipynb ipynb. Yeah. So this one is what we are going to be using for the data cleaning. We want to transform this our data. So automatically, what we need to do, we are going to save this and then call this function, which is extract data. So we are going to save this. I think we have an issue here. Okay, no. So let's try running it. So we have saved it. So if it runs successfully, we should see a file that is going to be called Netflix top 10.csv in our directory here. So let's just wait a bit. So oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I didn't call the function completely. I didn't put the parentheses. Sorry about that. So let's just wait. I want us to create the file because it is the file we are going to be cleaning so for the transformation. So let's just wait a bit. Oh, now, wonderful, magic, right? But this is not magic. This is everything that you will be taught and you will understand each and every of these things in depthly if you join us here at Analytics. So now, this is the folder. I'm sorry, this is the file, and this is what we're going to try to clean. So basically, we just extracted these 10 movies, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just extracted those 10 movies only. And now we want to clean it. What do we want to clean? Yeah. We need look at let me just come here. So let's select Python and this guy. So we are going to import. There's something called pandas. This is what we are going to use to clean our data. And then this is the data frame, pandas.read. If you read the CSV, what's the CSV's name? CSV's name is Netflix. Netflix top 10.csv. Right? So let's run this. So we are going to be needing to install some packages for IPY panel to work. But while we wait, you can just see that everything we have been trying to achieve so far has worked for us because what we try to do here is to get information from Netflix, which we have been successfully able to get. We got the name, we got the views it gathered, we got the duration of the movie, and also the amount of hours this movie has been viewed. So while we wait for the initialization, let's just keep on writing what we so first thing we are going to be doing is going to be calling on we want to view the data, right? So we want to view the data. What are we trying to see? We want to try to see the first 5 rows of this data. So in these first 5 rows, we are now going to be able to know what we are trying to achieve and what we are not trying to achieve, basically. So oh my god, this is taking a while. This is taking a while. Okay, in that case, so but this is not where we are going to be running our transformation on the long run. So
Sadiq?
transform, yes.
So I think we have some questions in the chat box. I don't know if you can quickly answer them. I think one person is asking if you can go through the chat. I think they asked what platform or what app are you scraping from?
Okay, we are scraping from Netflix. So
Okay.
you can see it over here. We are scraping from Netflix.
Okay. And I think
So
another
Netflix is the one
question
we are
is,
scraping from.
okay, I think Ned is saying that you're a bit too fast. So Ned, don't
Oh,
worry. That is why this particular session is recorded. So you can actually go through the video or by yourself. You can play it in a slow-mo so that you can easily follow through while you're watching it. Okay. And I think Adewale is asking the environment you're using for the master class. I think we're using
Yeah, I'm using VS Code, so he's right. He has answered his question in the chat,
okay,
basically.
okay,
Yeah, so I'm using VS Code.
okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. So, okay, it seems our installation is complete. So, I'm sorry, has completed successfully. So let's just get into, let's come back here. So this is still running. I don't know why it's taking a while, but let's just wait for pandas to import. It's not meant to take this long, probably because we just installed driver and all. I'm going to queue this. It's taking too long. Yeah, so run again. So I deleted the cell. Yes, I did. So let's just quickly try installing pandas. So then we're now going to do imports pandas as PD. Then our data frame, like always, is PD.read CSV. Then Netflix top 10. Netflix top 10.csv. So this is what we are trying to achieve. So the pandas is having issue importing. Pandas has not attributed Cambo circular imports. We import pandas here below. Oh my God. I don't know why we are getting an error for pandas, partially initializing the panda function. Oh my God, this is not a very nice box to have at this junction. Uh, um. Okay. What could be going wrong? I'm trying to import another one and see if it goes. Why is this one working and pandas is not working? So this is just a moment, please. A moment. Oh my God, this is what you face when you're a data engineer, right? So this is what you face when you're a data engineer. So you see some errors sometimes and you'll be like, what is this for? For God's sake. How do I fix this? Let's try installing it again. Or let's do, so I want to remove it and then install it all over again. Oh God, what's going on here? It's not giving me the, okay, do it the easier way. So do pip uninstall pandas. So we are going to delete it from here. So we have successfully uninstalled it. So let's install it. So this should work now. This has shaved off a lot of the time that we have to use. So one of the last files we need is the load. So this is the last, one of the last files, and then we are going to add a last file called the main. That's why. So this is where we are going to combine all the modules that we have created from the past and then put it in one place and then run it so that you'll be running a single script, but it is getting its juice from other scripts, basically. So let's come back here. We are still having installations. So taking a bit of time, but I think we should. Yeah, let's just move forward for now. Let's try and build up our loading sector, right? Let's try and build up our load. So what is the load basically? What the load should consist of is a database connection system. So where we can connect to a database and then we are going to create our table and then insert into this table. Because of the time that has been fast spent, I'm just going to be copying and pasting a code into your screen. So you're just going to see something that wants to look like magic, but it's not magic. So because of the time that is fast spent, I'm just going to be copying a piece of code and then you're going to see seeing a piece of code. Voila, this is it. So basically, what this does is this is going to help us connect to the image I showed you previously that had like an elephant. That's what we call a PostgreSQL database, right? Which is handled, the administrator system is called pgadmin, which is this guy over here. This is pgadmin. So that is the administrator phase. So now you can see here, create table. So this query is what we are going to be using to create this table if the table does not exist previously, right? If this table does not exist previously, we are going to create this table. And then we are going to execute. Then after that, we are going to see us inserting the data into this table. So basically, this is everything we need for the loading phase of things. Here at Analytics, we are going to take you through the bits, the nook and crannies of each and every of these functions that we are creating, each and every of these Postgres queries and SQL queries. We are going to take you through the index of everything for you to understand everything perfectly, whether you are doing data engineering, whether you are doing data science, or you are doing business analysis, or you are going through data analysis. You are going to understand basic SQL queries, and dependent on your field, then you now go in depth. As a data engineer, you should understand SQL a lot deeper, right? Because you are not just doing select and view most of the time. You are going to be creating more things like partitions and the likes. So this is the whole load file. Now, there's an elephant in the room here, which is this guy. Why is it yellow? It is telling us that I am not installed. Do you understand? It is telling us that I am not installed. Why did you call upon me? So for it to change and be like the rest, whereby there is no line, we're going to come here and use something called pip. So pip install PSYCOPG2. It's called PsyCopG2. So then PsyCopG2 is a database connector. So we are going to be using it to connect to our database for us to have the information we need perfectly. So as this, okay, our pandas are successfully. So now let's go for the best here. We are still having the secular imports on pandas. Oh my God. Guys, should give me a moment. I'm trying to figure out. Okay. If if pandas is giving us issue, we'll use this other guy. This other one I installed also is used for data cleaning also. So it's called polars. So we are going to do PL. So let's do that. So now it has run. So we are going to do df.head. So now you can see we have the title, the views, the runtime, and the view. So now what this is showing you is this is the data type. It's a string. This is the data type. It is an integer. This is the data type, also a string, and this is the data type integer. So now we are going to be leaving the runtime as a string. Reason being, it is a 1 hour 47 minutes. Do you understand? It has this semicolon. So there'll be an identifier of, oh, this is how long the movie takes. So in that case, there's there's also an elephant in the room here, which is this image, these numbers. We need to remove these numbers and then leave just. So we are going to do normalize the column names. So what this is going to do basically, it is going to replace all the space with underscore so as we get a more beautiful printout. Because when you're working with database, it is not always good to have spaces in unnecessary places. So we are going to run that. Then after that, we now have to remove the numbers from the title column. So now what this is going to do is we are now removing all these 05, 04, 06. We want to remove everything and leave it just at what's the name? We want to leave it at just the name of the movie. How is this possible? Oh, it's columns. Sorry. So there was a typo. So it's not with column. So now let's do the df dot edge and see what we have now. So now you can see I'm coming. Why didn't it go? It's more of like everything we ran did not work. Hmm. Title string replace or reject it. This I'm coming. Something is not right somewhere. So okay. It works for the first one. It's not working for the remaining ones. Replace all. Hmm. Okay, so let's do replace all. So let's view again. So this is what okay. So now we have been able to replace all the empty spaces with underscore. So what's the next thing we need to do? Next thing we need to do is now remove the digits behind them. Try to replace. This should work. I don't know why we are not. It's not giving us the results we need. Okay, let's use replace. That's the case. So let's run it and see if it did not still work out. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, let me remove this. Let's remove this and try it again. Okay, so you can see we just add a tiny bit of error. So now you can see all the numbers have disappeared magically. So now we can now load this data into our database. So these two lines that we wrote here now, this is what is going into our transform function. So we are going to come here, then just going to import polars as PL. So create a function called transform data, which is going to be taking in this, and then it's going to be doing this for us, basically. So this is everything that's going to be doing. The reason why I did this, like it appeared like magic. It's just to speed things up. We have spent a lot. Yeah, so I have just less than 4 minutes to wrap up with what I'm showing you guys. But if you join us here at analysis, everything is going to be clear to you. You are going to understand the nook and crannies of everything I'm doing here. And I would advise comes to data engineering so that you see the magic. We are the superheroes behind, we are the Cisco behind your flash. We are the computer geeks behind the superheroes, basically. So this is the transform function. So let's just save that, come to the load, also save that. And then this is the final bit of things. We are going to be from extract. We are going to import extract data, transform data, and load data, right? And also pandas. And then create a function called main. So what is this main going to do? It's going to extract the data for us. It's going to, now the PL we imported is going to read the data that, that this transform is going to work on, right? And then this is the last one. We need a database URL. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go and copy that from some. I have a URL somewhere. So let me just grab that quickly. And I'm going to explain how the URL comes in play. Okay, so explanation of how the URL comes in play. This is telling us that this is a Postgres database. One, this is the name of the user of the database. That's like the owner's credential. This is the name. This is the password. So automatically, you guys know my database password, but it is only if you have access to my PC, by the way. So if you write this same exact URL on your end, you might get an error, and that's because you don't have access to this database on your end. So you are going to have this is the name of the user, this is the password, this is the host of the user, this is the local host, this is my personal laptop. This is the port. What do we call port? This is like the connection place. So Postgres is hosted on 5432 ports. So now we have exposed another five. So now they will be able to communicate with each other. That is why this is 5432. And now this is the name of the database it is going to. So That is everything we need here. And now, last thing we just need to do is to run the whole ETL pipeline with a single file. We ran the extract as a single file previously, but now we don't need to run it as a single file anymore. What we just need to do now, we are going to remove this guy from here. We don't want to extract, then save this. Come here, confirm we have everything in stock. Yes. Come here also, we have everything in stock. And now this is the final magic. We need a database name. Let's change. Let me change the database name. So top 10 movies. So save, then come here and then do Python main.py. So you can see it is connecting successfully. It is connecting successfully. So you can see it is connecting successfully. Let's just see wait a little bit more, and then we should have magic on our hands. So now what is going to happen is the data is going to move, is going to be transformed and then moved into the database where it is going to be stored. I'm going to show, oh my God. Where is this? New line 21 on new data. What's going on here? Data frame object has no attributes. It will underscore arrays. If that's the case, return it that. So save. So we run it again. So this is just few bucks that we are going to pay. So this is the final bits. Let's just see what we are going to get here in a moment. So basically, it's not going to print out anything. Oh, I should have made it out something. Oh gosh, I should have given it like print ETL process completed successfully. But no problem. Let's just see if it runs successfully. That's like we don't have this X over here. That means everything works the way it is meant to work. So this usually takes a while. Takes a while. So let's just be patient. So many values to unpack. Expected to. What's going on here? Mhm. Okay. Let's let's try something. Let's try something. So let's use pandas here. PD. So this is going to be PD. So save. Come here also. Change this back. Save it. So let's just see how this goes. So just a few moments, So I just want to show you guys what the end result looks like, basically. So what does the end result look like? If this runs successfully, we should be seeing something like this. So this is our database, like I said, pgadmin. This is where it is going. You can see local host, which is the host system. And now this is our database. It has been created here. Now, let me just reload it so that we'll see it. So let's say we want to view all the movies we just got into our database. So there should be 10 movies in this database system. Yes. So you can see it. We have the run price, the K-pop. So now this is everything we need to know in our DB. You can see it, everything has been loaded successfully. So this is how we build ETL pipelines basically in data engineering. Now, you might be thinking like how can you transition and the likes, but this is going to be very easy for you, and Prince is going to be taking it up from there and giving you guys the whole juice more and more. And if you join us here at analysis, we are going to be we are going to take you through a more automated way whereby you are not going to be running this process manually anymore. Once you have written the code once and you have run it once, there will be a system that takes over for you and run. Let's say you want the data to be ingested weekly, then this system will just be doing it for you over and over again. So Prince is going to be kicking off from here. Thank you very much, everyone. Um, I was Sadiq Similain. Thank you very much. I will be hoping to see each and every one of you here at Analytics in few weeks. Oh, sorry. Yeah, in a few weeks' time. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sadiq. I believe it's evident what it feels like to work in this space where you have a lot of coding to do. You have a lot of coding, you have a lot of debugging, having issues, and you could see the way that Sadiq was handling every sort of challenge was because he has the hands-on skills, the hands-on approach to actually understand the processes, identify the problems that he faced, and also troubleshoot them to create a solution, right? These are the things you get to work with. These are the things you get to learn when you're talking about transitioning into a tech space and a tech role like data engineering. That's something that is pretty interesting. Now, before we came about having data engineering as a program that we offer at Analytics, what we did was we went ahead to look at all the major job boards that's globally. Good job boards in UK, US, Canada, Germany, across Europe, across Africa, to understand what roles are company really looking to hire for. What are the roles that company are looking to really do hire for? And when we did that, we scraped all the information just the same way Sadiq has been able to scrape information from Netflix. And after scraping them, we analyzed based on three major criteria. These criteria are number one, the ease of learning, meaning something that is easy to learn. You don't need to have any sort of prerequisite knowledge to be able to jump into them. You have easier transition, meaning you are able to get yourself a job in this career path and a job that is going to definitely come with a high rewarding salary. After our analysis on thousands of jobs, we're only able to arrive at 8 different programs that meets this criteria. And part of these the part of these 8 jobs that meet the criteria tonight, we'll majorly be focusing on one of them and talk about two others, which is data engineering, which we're talking about tonight. Then you have data analyst and data science. Now, this validates our analysis of if you go through any of these 3 programs, you have ability to easily understand them, easily transition, and getting you a high rewarding salary. You have that validation. Or what extra validation or external validation do we need? And what really led to that question is so we are now certain, it's analytics, we're certain now that if we go through this training, if we go through this particular path, you're able to achieve these things we've set out to achieve. What gives that validation that after like 3 years into the role, 5 years, or even 10 years into that career path, you don't see that particular career path disappearing into thin air and it doesn't exist anymore. What is that validation to give you job security? And what we did was we went ahead to seek external validation from the World Economic Forum. And this particular report you can see on my screen is telling us that career paths or roles that will be growing in demand between 2025 to 2030. That's 5 years from now. And in this particular report, you could see the number one on the list. The number one is big data specialist, meaning look at all the job boards or all the job roles we have globally. Anyone you can think of, the one that will really grow skyrocket in demand between 2025 to 2030, the number one on that list is big data specialist. And the big data specialist easily qualify to be under data engineering. That will tell you how resourceful this current career path is, how much of an opportunity you have when you transition into these roles. And this particular page you can see on my screen is even furthermore giving detail and context to what I just mentioned about career paths that are not growing in demand or rather declining in demand, and career paths that are increasing in demand, increasing the sense of organizations, companies looking to hire for a lot of professionals in this space. And in this space, you have the big data specialist, you have the AI machine learning specialist, you have the data warehousing specialist, you have the data engineers, the data analysts, the data scientists, and database and network professionals. These are roles that are really doing increasing in demand, and getting a skill in this path, your answer is as good as mine, that is setting yourself aright and giving things in a path whereby you're able to set yourself in a good path because you have a lot of demand in this path. And remember, this particular slide plus the recorded video will be shared with you. So you have access to go through this particular slide and even have ability to click on this report to be able to get a better understanding of how to read. You have access to them. You'll be able to read everything from A to Z and have a better understanding of what I'm talking about if you need more report on that, right? And by the time you're done with your data engineering program, you have abilities to get into different roles, not just roles that stays data engineer, because that's something that majority of us we do make mistake about. So when we are looking to get into a job or apply to a job, we might go on job board and say data engineer, and anything that comes under data engineer, we literally apply to that, and that's it. You're limiting your searching ability. You have opportunities to employ to work in roles that cut across board. You have BI engineers or BI developer, you have ETL developer, you have data platform engineer. And considering the program you'll be learning, you will be touching base with cloud engineering. Meaning, if you're looking to be AWS engineer, cloud engineer, GCP, or even Microsoft Azure cloud engineer, the data engineering creates a very fantastic, robust opportunity for you in that path. So it's not just limiting to say, oh, data engineer, even despite the fact that there's nothing limiting about that. So these are the opportunities that are open to you 100%. And when you're looking at the things you get to learn to be able to get yourself into that spot where you be really high in demand, then you're looking at getting into the program. And if you're looking at the key learning area, I know I think Ned asked a question in the chat box like Sadiq is too fast. Hope this is not what it's going to be like in class. Gladly, you can see your key learning area. The first thing you can see in that part is introduction to data engineering, meaning it is going to introduce to you exactly what a data engineer is. Then you gradually get into working around SQL, learning what is database manipulation. Then once you're done with that, you dive into Python, what Sadiq just did, learning exactly how to do a lot of things like building your pipelines, database setup, API injection, web scraping, which is part of what it did. This is just part of it. And by the time you go into the program, you will learn Apache Spark, Apache Airflow, which is you're learning how to automate a lot of processes, web scraping processes, your data pipeline automations, your information extraction processes. You learn all these things when you get into the program, making you way more resourceful. Then you also have the cloud engineering, which I've talked about. Then you also have GitHub version control and GitHub Copilot. So you will be learning this within the program. And the duration for your program currently is 8 months. So you see, to become a data engineer, you have to work on multiple projects, hands-on skills. Just one of them is what an example is what Sadiq just did, which is scraping information from from Netflix. You have organizations. retail organizations, manufacturing firms that will want to have a feedback on their products. How do they get this feedback? It is down to you to be able to scrape the information and make it readily available for use, either for a data analyst or a data scientist. It is you that will make this information just the same way you've seen Sadiq extracted the information from Netflix directly and stored it in the database. So after storing that information in the database, the data analyst or the data scientist will now go there to perform whatever sort of magic they need to give the organization an informed decision on what to do, right? So this is how it is. And you see how important a data engineer is. Without the data engineer providing this data, it will be extremely difficult for the data analyst or a data scientist to have information to work with because I mean, where would they get it from? You could see the whole process Sadiq took to extract this information, to clean it, to import libraries to do the data cleaning, automate processes, and running it and sending it to the database for storage. This is what they do. So if they don't do this, the data space, the data ecosystem is literally going to collapse. So that's to make you understand how important it is to be a data engineer. And that also validates the report from the World Economic Forum that has data engineer on the number one on the list of professionals that is really high in demand and will continue to grow in demand. So to be this person, you have to go through the training, having 6 months in class training, and you have 2 months internship. Now, for your live classes, you have your live classes on Saturday, whereby you come into class and you have your professionals, your instructors, walk you through how to use Python, working on a project, how to use SQL, working on a project, data manipulation in the database, how do you do all these things? You get to learn all these things working on projects. So for the 6 months you'll be in class, you'll be working 100% on project using different tools. And this is what you get to learn. And by the time you're done with your in-class training for 6 months, you get to do internship with a consulting firm that we partner with. They're registered in London. They're also registered in Canada. You partner with this consulting firm where you have ability to work on real world projects, right? You have ability to work on real world projects, solving real world problems. And the advantage you'll be getting from this is the project you must have worked on either during your class or even much more during your internship with a consulting firm. You have ability to showcase them, add them to your portfolio, and even showcase them on your LinkedIn, right? These are the things you get value from the training. And we've had a lot of people being able to go through the training and they were able to get a job. But this particular gentleman had a background as a mechanical engineer, went through the data engineering program, and he was able to get a job as a warehouse and ETL developer. And is currently in UK working with NHS. And definitely, considering how high skill data engineer is, that role definitely came with sponsorship. We've had people, this particular lady, her name is Ene Ojaide. She's a data scientist. She went through the training, was able to implement everything she learned. She's currently in UK, but she's working for a company in Germany, in Europe, right? So that's to make you understand that you don't have to be in a particular location to get a job in that specific location. You have ability, your test skill is a global thing. So you have that ability to get into that space. This particular gentleman is an 18-year-old boy. He actually joined the program when he was 17. His brother registered for him, was able to learn. He joined the data analytics program, was able to learn, and he got himself a job as an 18-year-old boy getting a data analyst job with Market Trends International. He's in Nigeria. Okay, so you have unlimited opportunities to be able to get into this space. And if you're looking at, okay, so how exactly do I get myself? I don't have any technical skill. How exactly do I get myself into a path where I'm able to get a job just like Christian, an 18-year-old boy, or just like Ene or Jaide, or just like God? How do I get myself into this spot? I don't have any technical skill. I've never done any Python scripting before. I've never written a line of code before. How do I get myself a job in that space? And it's so shocking to you to understand that you see everything that you've seen Sadiq do, and everything I've talked about, you get to learn in your class. All these are just your technical skills. They're just like 50% of what we tend to give to you. The other 50% is what we call the employability skills. And when you're talking about the employability skills, you're talking about revamping your CV, having an industry standard CV. What we do in this regard is we have in-house professional that will revamp your CV for you, making it perfect. Now, that perfect CV, you now go ahead to learn how to tailor that CV to each job you're applying to. Because even as a data engineer, if you're applying to GCP cloud engineer role, the CV you use for that particular role is different from a CV you will use for a BI developer role. It's totally different. So how do you tailor your CV to job application to furthermore give you the opportunity of landing that job? You'll have multiple live sessions that will teach you how to do this. Then you have your LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn can never be underestimated onto how you can showcase your skill and have recruiters reach out to you directly without any sort of middleman or any sort of job application. By just showcasing your skills, you'll have tons of opportunity of having recruiters get into that spot for you. You have navigating the job market where you learn how to search for jobs. I talked about it that a lot of people limited their ability to search for jobs by just using data engineer and they go ahead to search. You will learn exactly where to search for jobs and how to search for these jobs. Then when you search for jobs, definitely you get and search for jobs and apply to them, you get called for an interview. Before you attend any interview, you have the opportunity to book a one-on-one session with a professional with analytics, and that professional will vet your CV, vet the job application you applied to, look at the company you applied to, then prepare you for that role you're looking to get interviewed for. So let's say, for example, today is Wednesday. If you have an interview on Friday, you have ability to must have booked even way earlier than now with that preparation of an interview coming up on Friday, so that before Friday, you'll have been grilled to know exactly how to introduce yourself, how to speak, how to communicate, how to answer questions. A lot of that you will learn it, you will have a better understanding in your interview preparations. Then when you get a job, you have ability to get a reference letter from the organization. And you also get what we call on-the-job support, meaning you've gotten a job, you need some sort of guidance, you always have ability to reach out to us and we'll have professional come on board with you to solve your problem. Then we have what we call weekly mentorship sessions. This happens every Thursday. And the key thing there is a lot of people don't have technical background, technical exposure, or how things should be done in the tech space. So having a mentor guide you through how this process should be is priceless. Get access to this even after your training. Once you start the program, you get access to it 100%. And it happens every Thursday, like I said, and you have access to it even till after your training. Then what we have, the last one is the Upwork optimization. Upwork is a freelance platform whereby you have a lot of professionals showcase the skills. So Upwork is a platform whereby you're able to leverage, get into it, and showcase your skills to be able to offer your services on a more freelance approach to individuals and organization at the same time. These are the things you get, and by the time you're done, you have ability to add 10 analytics, considering you'll be doing your 6 months training with analytics and you have 2 months internship with Gary, you have opportunity to add both companies to your CV. And what that means is the two companies have ability to give you reference letter. Both companies are registered in UK and also registered in Canada, right? And definitely after the training also you'll be getting a certificate. Your certificate is accredited by American Council of Training and Development, ACTD, and you'll be getting this after your training. Now, a lot of people will be wondering, okay, I understand this, but how am I going to start? What is the next thing for me to do? What are the next steps? The next class that we are training for professionals starts 4th of October. All right. So the next class starts 4th of October. So if you're looking to key into it, you have ability to join the program start your training by 4th of October. And the cost for the particular program to start is currently $1,000 US. That's the price of any of the program you're looking to go for. So if you're looking to go into data engineering or data science or data analytics, you have ability to get into the program with $1,000 US. But one major advantage which I talked about is for people that stick to this time, you have ability to get a 25% discount. That 25% discount, you have ability to get it. And instead of it paying $1,000 US, you have ability to pay 750 US dollars, taking advantage of the 25% discount. But that 25% discount actually ends on Friday, the 26th of September. Okay, so to take advantage of that discount, you want to make sure you try as much as possible to secure spots and join the program. Now you see this 750 US dollars, it gets better. 750 is a lot of money to just hand out at once for something you're looking to do. So what we did was we considered this and we made it easier for people to get into the program. Just the same, we've been able to lower the barrier and have people transition into the program. The particular registration, you have ability to break that 750 US dollars into installments and create a payment plan around it. You have ability to pay up to 5 times, meaning you have ability to pay as low as 150 US dollars, and you get to pay that every month for 5 months. So to take advantage, start the program by 4th of October. All you have to do is pay one tranche out of the 5 tranches. That's you pay 150 US dollars, you'll be able to join the class, take advantage of the discount, and join the program starting by 4th of October. So my colleague has shown this particular link in the chat box. I'll walk you through it right now. If you click on the link that my colleague shared in the chat box, it should bring you to the website, which I will show you now. So I'll walk you through how to secure a spot and pay directly from the website. Let me stop sharing this and share that part of my screen. Wow. Okay, so let me share that part of my screen. If you click on the link my colleague shared in the chat box, it should bring you to this website. Our website is analytics.org. So you want to scroll down to the data engineering program. Or if not data engineering program, we still have no worries. I will still handle that. So, but in this particular scenario, you're going for the data engineering program, or you might want to say either data analytics or the full stack data science, which is this one. So, but for now, let me use this data engineering as an example. So you want to click on the data engineering, click on buy now. Once you click on buy now, you will see over here that you have just 1 day and 14 hours, so to speak, left. So you want to make sure that to take advantage of that discount, which is the 25% discount off, you want to make sure you pay or secure spots within this time frame. Right? You want to make sure of that. Then what you want to do, or how do you go about doing it? You want to click on enroll now. So just click on enroll now. Once you click on that, it will open up a page whereby you'll be able to select the option and make payment. Now, this particular discount actually covers for those looking to start in October and those looking to start in November. So if October sounds like, I really want to take advantage of this discount, or if it sounds like you really want to take advantage of the discount, but October is too near, you need to put some things into proper planning. You need to, let's say you want to get a laptop or you want to change your laptop before you start, or you just want to plan your schedule very well to be able to join the class actively, then you can select November. Okay, so you want to select the one that works best for you, then select the payment plan. Like I said, your currently discounted price is 750 US dollars, but in a situation whereby you're looking to pay either once or you're looking to pay twice, you get additional discount. So instead of you paying 750, you get to pay 712 US dollars. Either you're paying once or twice. If you're looking to pay twice, you get to pay $365 twice. Or if that will not work for you, you have ability to pay three times, which is going to have you pay 250 US dollars every month, three times, or you pay $187, or you pay 150 US dollars every month for 5 months. Okay, but for the sake of this illustration, let's say we want to pay five times so that to be able to join the program as soon as possible, and I want to start by November, or I want to start by October. So I select the payment plan that works for me, then I click on apply discounts. So once you click on apply discounts, in your own case, you'll be prompted to sign up on this particular page so that you'll be able to have your details. As you can see, I have my details here already. So you just go ahead, the discount has been applied. So I go ahead, I want to pay five times. You can see that I pay on the 24th of September. My next payment of 150 US dollars is going to be 24th of October, November, December, and by January, I get to pay the last 150 US dollars, right? So this is how you go ahead to secure spots. And what you want to make sure, you want to make sure you confirm that your information is correct after signing up. Then you want to make sure you read the terms and conditions also. After reading it, you want to click on accept, then you click on pay for the product. Once you do this, you'll be able to make payment directly from the website. Anywhere you're joining from, if you're joining from Canada, you have ability to pay directly in Canadian dollars. If you're joining from UK, that's this particular 150 US dollars is equivalent to 123 pounds. Okay, so you have ability to pay in pounds directly. If you're joining from Nigeria, you have ability to pay directly in Naira without needing any sort of currency exchanger. All right, you have a direct access to that. So this is the way you go ahead, secure a spot, and join the program starting by October, or if you need to set some things in order, then you have ability to also take advantage of the discount and start in November. Okay, you have the opportunity. And if you are part of the people that are like, oh, data engineering seems so technical, or data engineering seems so difficult. I'm not certain I can learn it. I don't even know which of the program I can do. It's so confusing. Trust me, we have you covered. And what you want to do is want to take this particular quiz, which we all can do right now. If you have anybody that's having that confusion, if you have anybody having such confusion, you can drop a yes or you can say I'm confused in the chat box so that I'll be able to know if I have anybody in that boat so I can show you what you can do in this regard. Do you have anybody that's confused that doesn't know if data engineering is the best option for them? Just drop I'm confused in the chat box. Okay. Do we have anybody? Okay, so fantastic. I don't think we have anybody that is confused. So if you don't have anybody that's confused, you want to make sure you go ahead, secure a spot, and we'll be looking forward to have you either by October or we have you by November. Do we have any questions before we wrap up for the night? I think we've been here for quite a bit, 1 hour, 52 minutes now. So do you have any questions that we're yet to touch base with, or does anybody have any quick question before we end the session for the night? Does anybody have any question for the session before we call it a night? Let me see my people. I want to see if my people that normally answer me are still here. Ned, do you have a question? Joseph Darlington, do you have a question? You also have ability to indicate that you want to speak, so you can unmute your mic. You can ask you to unmute your mic and you can speak. You can also indicate that if you have a question. So a data scientist, so let's say for example, okay, Ned, we'll see on the 4th. Okay, fantastic. See you in class. So Emmanuel, so what a data scientist get to do now is, now that we've extracted information from Netflix, now, so let's say you as a data scientist, you will get into that database and extract the information from the SQL, the PostgreSQL. And what you might be doing now is different depending on the organization you find yourself. So probably maybe you want to predict the watch rate of customers or people that are watching this particular series that Sadiq was able to indicate. You want to predict them for better information passing out. So for better products, for better services. For example, you will be able to take this information, load it into a machine model, and do your magic around that. So as a data scientist, you work more around the prediction aspect. I'm sure almost everybody here, if not everybody, we watch Netflix. After watching a specific movie, let's say that particular movie is let's say vampire movie. After watching that particular vampire movie, you will see that the next line of movies you'll be seeing is going to be relating to vampire movies. If you watch another vampire movie, automatically you see lots of them flooding your timeline, a lot of vampire movies. That is exactly a data scientist playing at the background. A data scientist is able to predict the type of things you are able to do, predicting the future, the things you like. A data scientist, that is what a data scientist get to do in that space. I'm sure we all use social media. When you click on a particular ad, let's say you click on a particular shoe that you like, and that shoe ad unfortunately happens to be an advert. The next full set of adverts you'll be seeing is going to be flooded with shoes, different sellers selling different types of shoes. This is Meta or YouTube using a data scientist to be able to predict what the user like in terms of adverts and be able to put it in their front. So a data scientist is needed in every sector of the economy because everybody wants to be ahead and be able to predict what their customer wants, what their customer likes. That is what a data scientist gets to do, right? I don't know if that answers your question. I think that question is from Emmanuel. Okay, so I want to assume that Joseph, I think Joseph is speaking for everybody. Joseph said, no questions for now. Are we good? Is everybody good? So that we know we're good. We'll be here for, we have about 5 minutes left. So if there's any question, we can just tackle them. And if there is none, make sure you secure your spots, just like Ned. I think Ned has secured his spots and we'll be seeing in class the 4th of October. If you haven't, the discount ends on Friday, right? The discount, 25% discount ends on Friday. So as not to miss on that discount, secure your spot and we'll be able to see you in class in that regard, all right? So I want to believe there's no more questions. Let me see, is there a question? No, it's not a question. So at the absence of any further questions, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. It's been wonderful. It's been impactful. I believe we've learned a thing or two. We've seen how bugs do happen, occur, and how you troubleshoot them because you have the hands-on skills. The program itself is going to put you through the hands-on skills. And remember, as a data engineer, your career path is number one, highest in demand globally. And if you look at the salary you earn, you literally earn higher than any other person in the tech space, most of them. You earn most than every other person. So you want to take advantage of this opportunity right here at your doorstep. Take advantage of the discount. Take advantage of the instrumental payment. Pay as little as 150 US dollars. Pay as little as 123 pounds, pay as little as 146 euros, and join the program. If you're joining from Nigeria, you get to pay as little as 240 US dollar, 240,000 naira every month for 5 months. So take advantage of this, and I'll be looking forward to see you in class and definitely at the top. In the absence of any further questions, thank you all for being here. I do really do appreciate you all for being here. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day. Cheers and bye for now. Bye, guys.